Welcome all. So this is the team of superstars who joined this year for the last 6 months. And we usually target those who've joined recently so that we help you to start the business right. Sometimes it's not enough to do the right thing. It's also good to do the right thing right. You are doing the right business, but you need to do it right. And what I mean by this is that when you just start the business, there are things that if you don't do, then your business will have a very slow growth. And to the contrary, there are things that you can do and accelerate your business. In fact, I love looking at it like this, that you are giving your business momentum. Think of anything like a tire. You remember when we were young, as young boys, we really loved pushing tires. And when you are starting, it's a little bit tough. It's not as easy, but the more you do it, the more momentum it gains. And it gets to a point where you are actually running very fast to catch up with it because it's now moving faster than you are running. So that is the nature of our business. If you start the right way and give your business a good momentum, then you're likely to make more money very early in your business. Well, it's a long-term business, but I argue that you don't have to make the money you would have made in 1 year. You make it in 5 years. Why? Why should you lose all that time? And when I started the business, I decided that I want to do it up to president team level in 3 years so that I can make all that money within that short period of time. In as much as it is open, you can become a president in 50 years. The choice is yours. So the purpose of this meeting is to help you to find a bearing, do things the right way. We'll look at a few do's and don'ts. But then this is just to guide you. And even before I start sharing the slides, remember our guest speaker yesterday from South Africa, he mentioned that from the day you join, that's when you own the business. It is your business, not your appliance business. Unfortunately, many people take too long before they capture that concept, that it is my business. So that's why you hear people say in their first few weeks, few months, the business is kind of not working. And when you investigate, you realize that they are the ones who are not working. So let's look at some of the very important things that we need to do as new members. So I'll be sharing my slides here. Okay. In a minute. Right, you can see it's coming up. There we are. Let me put it in a slideshow. Right. There we are. So new distributors orientation. One of the very important things that you want to get right from the day one is the company values. And this is important for everyone. It doesn't matter your level. Company values. I suggest that you take this as your own values, not the company values, your own values. You incorporate them in your business as part of who you are. We know them, but let me just remind you, honesty and integrity. Everything you do to the best of your knowledge that it is the honest thing. One thing that has made businesses to collapse, even very good business, stable businesses, is dishonesty or lack of integrity. Avoid shortcuts. Don't lie to clients, to your team, be honest. In fact, even to prospects, don't exaggerate. Is exaggeration lying? I think so. I mean, when you exaggerate, it means that you are not telling the truth there is. So maintain honesty and integrity at all costs. And then, this is very important, people are number one. Let me say this, we don't go into these details when we are doing the presentation, but when we say people are number one, what we are saying is, yes, you might have joined for money. I believe 99.9% of us joined for money so that you can make some additional money. But then at the forehand, don't have money, have people. Let me give you the secret. When you're talking to people to join your business, forget about the money that you will make. Just think of, I am bringing on board Gracie or Monica Jerry, the ones I can see on the screen immediately, so that Monica can become a director and earn 80,000, 100,000 Kenya shillings. You see, if that is the way you are looking at it, then even when you are talking to Monica, she will feel that it is about her, not you. Because people out there, before they join you, they ask themselves, what is in it for me? They don't want to join so that they can enrich you. They want to join so that they can achieve their dreams. So always make sure that you are guided by the desire to help people live a better life. And be sincere about that. Money will come. Get it from me. Don't look for money. Look for empowering people, and money will come. Then products that work. And this is why we say, don't tell people that the products will do what they don't do. Because what the products will be able to do is more than enough. I mean, and you don't have to really exaggerate. The products will work. They've been tested and proven. A good example, if you want to sell care, care is a disinfectant. You don't have to tell people that it will help them to kill worms. If they have worms, I mean, they take it, they drink it. I remember of a case of someone who said so somewhere, and your membership will be cancelled because it's meant for external use, not for internal consumption. Super Grow does wonders, but I've heard people exaggerate. Just stick to what the Scientific Advisory Board recommends. Equal opportunity for all. This simply means that as long as someone is over 18 years, they are allowed to start the business. And then finally, long-range vision is the fifth value. I think I'm very keen on the first three, but the five are equally important. Let's come to something else. Is training mandatory? When you are joining this business, one of the things that you will discover is that it will demand some time from you, no doubt. Time so that you can speak to people out there, you can talk to people out there, and time for you to train. If there's something that people hate, especially those who are already graduates, you've gone through the education system, you are done. By the time you're graduating, we feel like, I am done. I don't want anything to do with the books and education anymore. But I will tell you, the minute you stop learning, especially through these trainings, that is the minute you start dying. The minute you stop learning is the minute you start dying. Not physical death, but in terms of vision and your ability to become better. So is training mandatory? I will tell you openly, it is. It is a must. As long as you want to succeed, you want to become better, then it is a must that you train. Is that good news? And you see now what that means is you need to create time for the training. Okay? So you can't perform in what you don't have knowledge. These trainings are meant to equip you with the knowledge that you need. In fact, it's a favor. It's such a favor that we are doing to you by training you, and you don't pay. You know, one of the most expensive things is knowledge. And the fact that we do it here freely doesn't mean that it is of no value. It's extremely valuable. Show me someone who is not training, they're not gaining more knowledge, and I'll show you someone who is going nowhere. Okay, so training is a must so that you get the knowledge. The other thing is, you need to understand the products for your own use and for customers. One of the reasons why people don't use the product, some people, is because they are not aware of these products, how the products will be able to save their money. Can you imagine? You could be a new member, and for your first 2-3 months, you are still buying, I don't want to name companies out there, but soaps from other companies out there. Yet there is no single company that will provide you with a cheaper and effective soap than LDC. Now we have it here, but just because you've not learned about it, how economical it is, how you go diluting it before you use it, then you continue wasting your money and using chemicals when we have the better option here. And you cannot sell that which you are not using yourself. So, very important. Ease of addressing challenges. Do you have challenges in this business? Which business doesn't have challenges in the first place? It's only that here, the support system we give you helps in alleviating most of these challenges, addressing most of these challenges. But how do we support you? It's through training. We teach you on how do you handle rejection, for example. When people say no, how do you handle that? If you don't succeed as fast as you thought, how do you handle that? Okay. If there is an issue with the people you are bringing into business, maybe they are dropping out, how do you address that? So, very important. Then you gain leadership. You remember our fourth task that we should be doing, or daily success habit, is personal development. And so when you gain the right leadership, it is easier for you to succeed than for someone who is still not having the right mindset. Leadership here simply means we tune your mind to think as an entrepreneur. When we tell you own your business, leadership is what will help you to do that. And your business will last for the longest if you first work on yourself before you work on the job. Jim Rohn says you must work harder on yourself than you work on the job. Right. And then sorry, slides are not moving. Right. Then you gain prospecting skills that will help you to be able to sponsor a lot. When we started this business, I remember we were sponsoring 1 or 2 in a month. We avoided skipping a month without sponsoring, but we couldn't do really 5, 6, no. But the more we've gained the prospecting skills, we are able to talk to so many people. And it's not just about talking, it's about what are you telling them? Are you attracting them? You can talk to people and you are chasing them away. But here we want you to talk to people in a way that they will be happy to follow you voluntarily. And that way you'll be able to sponsor a lot. Remember, sponsoring is the main business. It's actually the business. It's the blood of our business. It's not just the main thing. It is the thing. Bringing in new people, building a team. And if you can focus 80% of your energy in building a success team, people joining your business and they run with it to build their own businesses, then you are unstoppable. You are heading to the top. And remember, best students become best teachers. If you don't train, then it means you'll never teach if you're not learning. You gain ability to do presentations. Towards the end of this session, I'll show you how you do a 15 minutes or less presentation so that your guests can join from wherever you are presenting to them. Now we have members training. Some are virtual, that's like the one we did yesterday, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. And guest presentation that we do every Saturday, 8 p.m. So you need to take note of this, those who are new. I've seen some are not attending these trainings, and that's disastrous. Now, let me also mention some concepts here, two concepts here. And sometimes people use one and not the other. You need to balance between these two, aggressiveness and patience. My motto has always been, success loves speed. You want to be aggressive in this business. I read somewhere that was saying that you will get what you want, but only that which is left by those who hustle. In other words, the aggressive people will really get ahead of you, and you'll only lag behind. You'll get success, yes, but not as fast as those who are aggressive. I love talking about what the Bible talks of the kingdom. Since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and those the violent shall take it by force. So that is it. Don't wait for things to happen. Aggressively go for them. Make things happen. Learn very fast and act very fast. Then work with flexibility. The challenge is we don't have official hours that we can say this is the time that you are building your business. And let me mention this. I listened to one person today who was saying, your greatest enemy in your business is your comfort zone, whether it is your job or whatever else, where you have some fallback position. That's dangerous. You see, the way you work in your job 8 to 5, you should work harder here. So it's up to you to get the time. And we say this, you don't get out to do the business. You do business every time you get out. I don't know whether that's a tongue twister or we got it. You don't go out to do business. You do business every time you go out. So every time is business time. There's that flexibility. In public transport, you can do business. In the banking hall where you are queuing, you can do business. In weddings, you can do business. But you must be careful by the end of the day to account for the business you've done. Evaluate yourself. Then avoid false expectations. If you want to be earning 100,000 Kenya shillings every month from this month, then that means you'll have to do a lot. If you don't do that a lot, then it means you are having what we call false expectation. And that brings us to now the issue of patience. You need to be patient. By the way, most people who quit, unfortunately, there are those who quit. They quit in their first 90 days. Yet 90 days, the first 90 days are meant for you to learn the game and get momentum and start making some cash and all that, not to be financially free. When we talk of being financially free, we talk of 2 to 5 years. So make sure you don't have false expectation. Have patience. I want to give you some assignments, some homework. Read about Chinese bamboo tree story. Please go and do that. And you realize that in summary form, it takes 5 years for the Chinese bamboo tree to break the ground, for you to see that something is happening. But for all these 5 years, you are watering, you are weeding, you're doing everything, pruning. Not pruning because it's still below the ground. But you're doing everything else. After 5 years, it will shoot 90 feet tall in only 5 weeks. And the question is, how long did the tree take to grow to grow 90 feet tall. How long did it take? Someone will say 5 weeks, but the answer is 5 years and 5 weeks. But the longer duration, 5 years, nothing was being noticed. That is the nature of our business. Listen to me. In your first few months, you'll put all effort, all energy into it, but you don't get commensurate results. You don't get equivalent results. In fact, I love putting it this way. At the beginning, you'll overwork and be underpaid, but later you'll underwork and be overpaid. Isn't it sweet to be underpaid for a short period of time and then you'll be overpaid for the rest of your life? So consider what happens when you are being underpaid. Check on your attitude, check on how you handle that, because that is what will determine whether you'll get to the phase where you'll be overpaid for life. Now, another very important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is, sorry, I think I lost my sharing. Not sure what has happened. Let me share again. But the next thing is about what I call 10, 80, 10 strategy. Okay, 10, 80, 10 strategy. And what this means is this is something that has worked so well for us as Superstars team. You not find it in near-life literature. What we are saying here is much of your time should be on prospecting. The 80% should be on prospecting and sponsoring. Then 10% of your time should be given to issues of products, learning about products, doing your 100 points minimum. That, by the way, please underline that. It is a requirement for every single business builder. I'm not saying member. For every single business builder to do not less than 100 personal points. In fact, I recommend, if you are so serious, always do your 100 personal points in week 1, and for the champions in day 1. 1 personal points means whether you're buying for your own use or for customers. 100 points. That's the minimum, not the maximum. People of excellence are not looking for what is minimum. They are looking for what is the highest they can achieve. So that is it. Replace other brands in your house. Confidently share the products with others. 80% is sponsoring. Try to sponsor 4 people every single month, but on minimum 3. That is what we call 3 in 30 star. There are incentives you get, like free products when you do that. And then the other 10% is personal development. At any time, if you ask, which book are you reading? Please have the answer. Never, ever go a single day without reading, even if it's only for 15 minutes. But what do you read? Behind me here are only 2 kinds of books: leadership books, inspirational books. And let me say 3, because you also find our industry books. Books that are talking about our industry, our business. Okay. So those are the kind of things you learn. However, learning today is easier because it's what we call university on the wheel. University on the wheel is where you go listening to YouTube materials, audios, and videos. And you see, you just need to download them. Like in my phone here, I have hundreds and hundreds of such. So there is no one time I will feel like I'm wasting time on the road. I'm in class, literally, when I'm driving. If you're using public means, there are headphones, you know. So you can still be on the road, but you are using the advantage of technology to learn. So that is the 10-80-10 strategy. You must allocate time proportionately. Now, we've said 80% is sponsoring. It all starts with how do you prospect? Remember, we have warm market and cold market. Warm, those are your friends, close friends. Cold, the strangers, people you have not met before. Either way, you need to have a script. And this is the most important part for new people. What do you tell people? Because when we tell you talk to so many people, we also need to understand that the content matters a lot. What are you telling them? That's why we developed at Superstars team. We developed this script here, prospecting and inviting script. So when I meet someone, after we've talked a little bit and he's interested in what I'm doing, and mostly they will ask you, and by the way, what do you do? And you could also start. Then they will also ask you, and you, what do you do? That is the most common question, and that is where many people flop. They are not able to answer that question. Please have this on your fingertips. Short, but capturing the attention of your audience. I am a part of a dynamic organization called Superstars Team, whose focus is to help people to change their lifestyle. We help individuals or people to start to build their own businesses where they can earn additional income, travel around the world, and enjoy a better health. Would you be interested in hearing more about the Superstars team? Because I would like to take about 15 minutes of your time to share more. You see, you're asking. Some time back, we were teaching on how do you ask? And this is a form of asking. Would you be interested in hearing more? And when they say yes, then you can now invite them for a session, physical or virtual, depending on their availability. Always give two options. If it is like physical meeting in Nairobi, I will ask them, which of these 2 days would you be sure to be available for a physical meeting that I can secure for you? Wednesday, 12:45 or Saturday, 12:45? So I give them the two options and they will choose. Don't leave it open. Now, even more powerful is a 4 minutes video where you ask them, if they ask you, what do you do? Then you tell them, thank you for asking. If I sent you a 4 minutes video outlining how our business work, would you secure the 4 minutes to listen? And they'll tell you, yeah, please send me. 4 minutes is too little, anyone can listen. It's not like an hour. If it's an hour thing, they will decline. So then you tell them, all right, so if I sent you now, would you listen and revert back? So now you are trying to get commitment from them. Once they've listened, don't ask them what they think. All right? The video ends by telling them to get back to the person who sent them that video. If you don't have that video, please make sure you get it. You can ask from the WhatsApp group. We'll forward it to you. So that now once they are interested, they will ask for more information and you invite them. The script and the video are meant to break the ice. That position where you are not so sure what to tell people and you are scared of people. Now, once you've invited them, you are inviting them either to a group meeting where we have speakers speaking, or you are meeting them yourself, and maybe your upline could be sitting with you in that meeting. But this is what we call one-on-one, because it is you and perhaps your upline versus your prospect. So you are explaining the business to the prospect. You've already secured the 15 minutes, so you are explaining to them. Now, this is what you need to do when you are doing one-on-one. First, make sure before you do it yourself, you watch 2 or so presentations done by your sponsor or your upline so that you can learn how it's done. Also, familiarize yourself with the presentation, the steps. And then you practice severally. You can practice with a friend that you are 100% sure that you are comfortable presenting to them. It could be your mother. If everyone else rejects, your mom will not. Okay, or your children. And you can even, if it's your children and you're not so comfortable, you can tell them, by the way, I'm not very serious. I'm just practicing. Allow me to practice with you. So practice severally. Then you now develop your identification. Always have your story. And a story is simple. I will show you towards the end how you develop your story and you practice on it, because people will join you because they are connecting with you. And people connect with you because of your story, who you are, where you are coming from, what you've achieved. And then you call your guests the day before. If you schedule a meeting for Saturday, call them on Friday so that you can reconfirm and remind them about the meeting. If possible, encourage them to come with their spouses. You know why this is very important? It's because if you present to this gentleman and they go home and the wife is negative, you did zero work. They'll be deflated. And the opposite also happens. Okay, so it's important. And there are also some friends sometimes. Not many friends, one or two. Then, in case they cancel due to unavoidable circumstances, then reschedule the meeting. And by the way, even when they attend and you've presented to them, you must schedule the next meeting. The purpose of a meeting is to schedule a meeting so that you keep the conversation going. And even then, when they have joined, they need to attend the next new members meeting and so on and so forth. So always schedule meetings. Now remember this, that during a one-on-one presentation, the first impression may be the only one. It will last forever. That is what they will remember throughout. Okay. It might be the last. So be careful. And that means even how you dress and everything. So you start with your introduction. Give your guest your identification. Who are you? Tell them about yourself. I am Dr. KARIUKI JOSPHAT. I was a university lecturer before this opportunity, but then I didn't like XYZ. So when this opportunity found me while I was still teaching, I embraced it so that I can achieve XYZ. You see, I have already done all that. I've told you why I joined, where I was working, what I didn't like. Now, as you engage with them, of course, by this time, you are meeting them for some specific need. You've already established their need, whether it's a product or business. So if it is product, then you can share with them the products. And if possible, demonstrate, especially if it's a home care product. And then you give a product testimony. I used to have migraine headaches, and I was always in and out of hospital, being admitted many, many times, I remember, at a Nairobi hospital. And I thought this is something that I'll have to live with. It was so bad. I felt like dying of the migraines. But after using TriNN and Aloe Vera Plus, within 2 weeks, the migraine headaches disappeared up to date, 14 years down the line. Who wouldn't want to use such products? You see? Yeah. Then share the opportunity. Now, when you're sharing the opportunity, I will show you the steps. I know you've listened to our presentations, but you need to master the key steps. And then share success stories. If you are very new, you've not started earning bonuses, you could talk about your sponsor's story. But it is very possible that you've started earning something, even if it's profits. So share that with a lot of excitement. A story, even a short story, small story, shared with a lot of excitement will thrill the audience more than a very sweet story, which doesn't portray excitement from the person sharing the story. That's why we are saying, speak enthusiastically about what you've benefited from your business. So now, when you're sharing the opportunity, of course, you've already talked about the unhealthy triangle and the healthy one, and then the unhealthy one. And then you focus, this is the simplest way of doing it. You focus more on the solution at the cellular level. You see, when we eat the wrong way I've shown you, our cells become unhealthy so that they don't allow nutrients to go in and waste to go out. Unlike the healthy one, which would allow nutrients in and waste out. But then we have a perfect solution that we call TRNN, which feeds the cells so that the cell membrane, which was hard and not permeable, of course, we are showing them now the two cells again, the cell becomes permeable. So nutrients can be utilized very well, and that gives you a lot of energy, vitality, you behave like a young person, and cellular health in general. All the benefits you can think of, cardiovascular health, brain functioning, and so many other benefits. So TRNN is our number one product, but we have many others, healthcare products, home care products, which are like, organic cleaning detergents instead of using chemicals. So now you're just mentioning, not that there are not even lots of drawings and talks about the other products. This was the main one. Once you've mentioned the other products, super growth and all that, but if you realize that they have some special interest with what you're just mentioning, now you can dive deeper. And then now you show them how the business works. Using those products, this is how you build the business. Be directly connected with the company by paying that one-time fee, and you get the kit. Show them the value for their money. Please. 120 capsules of TRNN, because you have overemphasized the TRNN. Now, when you get here, they really feel like, wow, at only 8,700, and I get the TRNN that you talked about. Wow. And then the points, issues, then encourage them. They could add 2 more TRNNs, especially if they are family members, but also for sale, 2 more, so that they are starting with 102 points. It is the best practice to sponsor people with 100 points plus. Once you've done that, just tell them what they need to do, using the product, sharing the products, sharing the opportunity, and training. And then you finally wind up by showing them how the sharing the opportunity, which we said is 80%, works. Show them that there are 3 steps to becoming a director. Defined director is where you're earning about 100,000 Kenya shillings. It starts with you, you have 1 or 2 points, bring 4 people with 1 or 2 points. Step 2 is where you have them as managers, and you're having 1,000 plus and or 2,000 points. Just mention senior manager and executive manager. And then the 3rd step is where you have more than 4,000 points and you are a director. If need be, you can mention about these others, but this is not very, very important. And you are done with the presentation. Then you are not really done until you ask them to take action. That is what we call closing. I tell people we are not in a sensitization business. You don't want to just give information so that people are aware. You want them to take action. And if you are not good in asking, then you will not receive. So you are asking them to make a decision. And how you do that is by showing them that by starting this business, they could be opening, for sure they are opening a door for prosperity. By not starting, things may not change. A year from today, they could be where they are. So you show them why they really must start now, have urgency. But if they have questions, don't evade them, respond to them, because that helps them to be clearer on perhaps what was still, having gray areas, and then they can join. Okay. In case they are not ready to join right there, then it means there is an objection. Try to engage them a little bit so that they can be able to ask you questions where there are questions. If they don't want to join, encourage them to use products. Okay? Ask them to try some products like the TNN so they can become customers. Okay? And always ask a referral. If they are joining, ask them to connect you with some friends that you could help them to talk to so that they can join them. Or if they are not joining, still ask them for 5 friends that would be interested in earning additional income. They might give you some. And for products, the same thing, right? So, but if a prospect says, yes, I'm ready to start, don't ask them, when are you paying? Ask them, are you paying through the paybill number, M-Pesa in Kenya, or cash? So, because they are ready to pay, okay? And then you complete the application form, indicate the reference, and so on and so forth, and help them to, do the clerical work. How do you fill an order form, blah, 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 and all that. Okay, that comes now in the business lounge mostly, where you are showing them how to do the things that a distributor will be doing. And then name list, so that they have a starting point. But the question is, yourself, do you have a name list? That should be a must. If you don't write, no punishment. The business will punish you already. So no other punishment. Why do you write a name list? A list of more than 100 names of people you want to be engaging, so that you are orderly, you are systematic, and you can be able to follow up. You can track how you are talking to these people. Otherwise, you'll be confused very fast. You'll feel like you have talked to the whole world when you've talked not even to 20. So it's very good to write the name list. Then do follow up within 48 hours to do the business launch if they have joined, and if not, so that they can join. Okay, so that is what we've said. Sponsor at least 3 people, but I recommend 4, so that if they have 100 points each and you have your own 100, then that's already 500 points. Okay, and then now you start helping them. Can we wind up by showing you or talking about the story? Because I promised this is very important. You can tell a very effective story in only 2 minutes. You only need to know, what must I say? Sometimes you have too much to say that you confuse your prospect. And the world is full of people who say too much of what they shouldn't be saying, while others don't say what they should be saying. So it's very important to know what should you include in your story. First one is your background. Don't start giving other details before they know who you are. Where you live, your occupation. What did you do before this? And what didn't you like? Being vulnerable means show them that you are just like them. If you've heard me when mostly I'm sharing my testimony, I will passionately, emotionally talk of the way, after working very hard, I would be paid some income that would get finished within my first 5 days, if I'm very lucky, 10 days. The money was getting finished long before the month was finished, and I was lagging behind bills, getting into debt. You know what? I'm vulnerable. I'm showing them that I'm not an angel. And now that way they connect with you. Tell them what you didn't like. I was working too much, but I didn't even have time. Not even for myself, not for my children. I really needed time freedom. Anything that you didn't like. And then now you show them the solution. That this opportunity came as a perfect solution. Someone told me that I could do a business with flexibility, and within 2 to 5 years, I would be financially free. I couldn't resist that. Okay. And then, of course, at that point of solution, you'll show them what you have achieved, and then you finish by showing them the future. Remember, you are a new distributor. You've not achieved so much. So when you paint a very attractive future, then they will join you so that you can enjoy that future together. For example, our new members, 6 months in the business, perhaps none of you have has qualified for the lifestyle in Cape Town, fully paid by the company. So what do you tell them? Even if you've not done much, you have faith, you'll be going with us. So you speak about it as if you are fully confirmed as one of those who have qualified to go to Cape Town. I remember when I joined, people are going to Cape Town by coincidence. And even when I was 2-3 days in the business, I was telling people, you know what, I'm so excited that in the month of XYZ, we'll be flying to Cape Town. I love enjoying lifestyle. And I'm sure you can join us and we fly together. You see, I had not even known exactly what I need to do to go. But I knew by them joining my business and we built together, I'm likely to qualify to go. And they joined and I went. That's how you do it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I really wanted to share with us. You can see there are simple things, but they will require discipline. You won't achieve them without discipline. The only thing I'll land on top of what we've covered is that you need to take some time with your upline director and you go through your back office so that you understand how you can now bring in technology to accelerate your growth in the business. How do you do orders online without necessarily filling the order forms? How do you track your business? How are you able to see how your business is? Even on a public holiday, you can still be in business, and so on and so forth. So thank you so much for attending the training. I believe we are fully equipped. It's my desire to see all of us accelerating in this business. Now you're not going to do it in a haphazard way. We've given you some good direction. And if you, with the discipline, you follow what we've shared with you, there is no question about your success. You are heading to the top. Keep going. Doesn't matter where you are now. Keep going. God bless you so much and see you at the top. Bye-bye.